Hello guys, it is Jead, and today I want to talk about this video here from Nick that he put out about a day ago as I'm recording this. But it's not just Nick's video here, right? It's the sort of general sentiment that we've got from the community at the minute with the pack weight regarding Team of the Year, and pretty much the idea that Team of the Year is dead, or, you know, the idea that Team of the Year is much worse than it has been in previous years, right? Essentially, I disagree with a lot of the sentiment I've seen. Now, I do think it's a sort of nuanced debate. I don't think it's, you know, as black and white as people are making it out to be. I don't think Team of the Year is amazing. I don't think Team of the Year is completely dead in the water. And I also want to preface it and say, I have nothing against Nick specifically. Nick won't even know who I am. I've watched Nick for years. You got to remember, guys, this is a trading channel. We sort of do trading, we do pack grinds. So as you can imagine, right, being trading, Nick's probably my favorite content creator on FC FIFA that has ever been. Him and Nate, Foot Accountant, the two guys that I still watch to this day. So I can assure you there's nothing like bad against Nick. I don't really care in that way. I just want to talk about some of the stuff that he mentioned in this video that I think is interesting, because what I've seen is, especially in some of my videos in the comment section you guys might have seen, is since Nick posted this, because obviously Nick's the GOAT, right? Everyone watches Nick. We all watch his videos. Since he posted this, a lot of the community sentiment has sort of, I believe, stemmed from what Nick's talking about here, because often people hear things, it corroborates what they think. So yeah, let's jump into the pack weight, the league grind at the minute, right? The new premium leagues that EA just upgraded. I want to talk whether they're going to be bringing back the 82 times 20. Would that save Team of the Year? Would that kill Team of the Year? I want to talk about the Team of the Year content in general, right? Look at this here. Look at this Evo. Have you guys seen the Royal Winger Evo today? Or this was yesterday, but you've seen the new fullback Evos that came out? They are shocking, right? I want to be very clear when I say this. EA won't know who I am. I have nothing to do with EA. Like, why would I back EA, right? I'm not trying to be one of them guys that thinks EA is perfect. So much wrong with the game right now. Most of it's gameplay related, in my opinion. Most of it is gameplay related, but there is stuff wrong with the content right now, like some of the Evos. I think Evos, specifically this year, they've got a little bit wrong. But yeah, let's cover pack weight. Should Team of the Year be packable? 82 times 20s. Store packs, that's a big talking point as well. Team of the Year ratings and play styles, are they better and worse than they used to be? Like nostalgia, are people just like kind of gripping onto old Team of the Year? And I want to start with pack weight, right? This is a tweet from Teddy, but this is one of the main things Nick talked about in his video, and it's where it got really popular from. This is the site Foot Next, and basically, they try and give pack weight based on people who are using their enhancer and opening packs, right? One thing I want to say is I don't think this is accurate. I believe from some of the work I've seen people do into this before, I don't think it's accurate. That's not to say that, you know, Team of the Year is a 1%, 2%. I'm not saying that, right? They've got crappy pack weight, but I don't think this is accurate in general, right? But essentially, right, the line of thinking is that you've got to open 10,000 plus team of packs to even have a chance at getting Team of the Year. Now, number one, I want to preface this in saying this was just midfielders, right? So of course, not only was this, you know, possibly wrong, or there's not the right percentage on it. This was just midfielders. So this was last year, right? Last year, when it went from midfielders to pretty much everything being in packs, I believe the pack weight doubled. Now, again, if they doubled the pack weight from 0.1% to 0.2%, it doesn't feel like a lot, but essentially double the amount of people are packing Team of the Years. Again, not great, but you've got to remember basically that it's just midfielders and packs so far. So when we get the full team, that is when the real grind starts. In my opinion, I don't think you should really open packs right now in terms of like grinding the game. I'm not sure it is worth it just when defenders are in packs like today and tomorrow, when midfielders are just in packs. I think it's much more important when the full team's in packs. And that is when the real grind starts. That's when we had the 82 times 20 last year, right? I guess my point is, more importantly, the thing that I think the community needs to realize is that these cards aren't meant to be packable. Now, there's a difference between not being packable and being very, very hard to pack. I understand that. But it feels like what people are arguing about currently online is the arbitrary percentage that EA put on a pack. So basically, should it be 0.1, 0.05? Where would you draw the line? Because obviously, if it was 1%, then it's ridiculous and we can't do that. It'd be so easy to get Team of the Year. But currently, everyone's opinion feels like it's too low. I'm not sure I agree. I'm not saying that it should be, you know, impossible to pack a Team of the Year. But the way I remember Team of the Year, right? The way I remember Team of the Year when I was growing up or when I was playing FIFA as a kid was that Team of the Year cards, like these cards here, this was not meant to be a card that you were actually meant to be able to pack unless you were very, very, very lucky. I don't remember using the Team of the Year in FIFA 15, FIFA 16, FIFA 17, FIFA 18. I don't remember getting one until whenever Team of the Year Bruno came around. That was the first one I ever got when obviously SBC grinds became more available and everyone could actually start to use these Team of the Years. And that should be possible, right? Last year they overcorrected. We got the 82 times 20, and that definitely wasn't good for the game. And it feels like what EA are trying to do now is try and find a middle ground, but people aren't happy with it. And I think it comes from the fact that if people want a Team of the Year, they don't pack one. They then see people opening store packs, and we'll talk about store packs. And then when you see someone open a store pack and they get a Team of the Year Pedri, a Team of the Year Mbappe, it basically leans back into that point of, you know, EA need to tone back with the store packs, which I agree with, and need to bring out better upgrades. But I just think we need to be careful. Last year, everyone was rocking around with Team of the Years because the 82 times 20. I think if this year, everything's out right now, we just got the full team. We kept getting upgrades like these rating ones. So we kept getting the 83 times 10s and the 85 times 3s. If we kept getting those and no repeatable 82 times 20 came at all, it would actually be better for the game long term. Now, would that mean that Team of the Year is a little bit dead? Yeah, maybe, because the actual grind's not great. It's very hard to pack a Team of the Year. But in terms of like the health of the game, it would be better. And I understand that's really frustrating because we want to pack a Team of the Year. We want to be, actually have a chance to pack one when we're doing these 10 times 83s. And even these have really, really low weight, right? What I would argue with is that no one would have a problem with it, in my opinion at least. Maybe you guys let me know. I could be really wrong on this. But no one would actually have a problem if store packs didn't exist. Now, that's easy saying that because store packs do exist. But what is happening is, you're seeing people, let's say you're free to play, right? You're seeing people with Team of the Years in their team, or you're at least seeing people pack them online, right? On Twitch streams and different things. And then it feels impossible for you to get one. And, you're not going to put money on the game, or you've not got the coins to open one. And I think that's where the imbalance comes from. That's the problem. It's not the fact the upgrades are too low. It's the fact that these exist and have become so normalized over the years, right? Now, in Nick's video, he talks about 100k lightning rounds. I think he mentions about like back in the day, that's what we used to get, and that was enjoyable. Again, I want to stress nothing against Nick. Like I keep saying, because I feel like people are going to try and say, oh, Nick's the guy. You're an idiot. I get it, right? But when we had 100k lightning rounds back in the day, it was still the same thing, right? Where most of the Team of the Years came in store packs, you have to put money on the game, and anyone who was just being free to play wouldn't get any. That for me is stupid, because that's what store packs have become because of content creators opening packs at 6 o'clock, and that's where EA have took the game to. I get it. But Team of the Years in general shouldn't be packable. Forget store packs, right? SBCs, they should be so hard to get that when you get one, the elation of actually getting one. When you imagine like there was no store packs, and there is, I get it, but imagine there was no store packs, and you come up against someone that has Team of the Year Pina in their team, you would think, oh my god, this lucky bastard, man. He's got Team of the Year Pina. I'm going to be cooked. He got him in an SBC. He must have grinded for that card. Maybe he got him from Foot Champ rewards. But obviously, I guarantee when you see that Team of the Year Pina or Mbappe, if it's a first owner, you're just thinking store packs. I think that's the problem. Another thing that is huge that has changed the Team of the Year is the ratings to the stats, right? So I think the point that I've seen, again, mentioned in Nick's video, or I've seen mentioned around, these are no longer 99s. We don't have 99 Messi. We don't have 99 Ronaldo. And we need to go back to that. I think that's a whole different argument in itself, right? I think that's nothing to do with Team of the Year. This Claudia Pina card, in my opinion, is better compared to the cards currently in the game than like 99 Messi and 99 Ronaldo were compared to the current cards in the game back then because of playstyles. Now, we know that playstyles are probably one of the biggest things that EA have got wrong recently, or in this game cycle at least. Far too important. The fact they can put 3 gold badges on this card and all of a sudden you got one of the best cards on the entire game. Not sure that should be the case. Well, not sure. It shouldn't be the case, right? That definitely shouldn't be the case. But I just think that's a whole different argument completely when it comes to like power curve and how the game is balanced, right? It's nothing to do with Team of the Year, in my opinion. Again, I want to be very clear when I'm going through this. I'm not defending EA. I think EA have got this shockingly wrong in some situations this year. I just don't like it when people call out the wrong areas of the game. I think if we call out stuff like Team of the Year and we call out stuff like SBCs, right? If we call out things that I think are not actually that wrong, then what I think happens is when we try and call out actual problems like gameplay, and when we call out store packs, which are the biggest problem, right? The biggest money grab. When we call out those things, it seems less potent. It seems less proper. It seems less true if all the community just cry at everything. And I'm not saying people are crying. I get it's a valid complaint. But I feel like you can't just call out everything. You can't just say that, we should be able to pack a Team of the Year in every single pack. We should have 99s. It's little things like that where it annoys me a little bit because it means that, again, nothing gets taken seriously. And I think that's where a lot of it, where we've gone with this game, where EA say they listen to the community, but if they listen to everything the community said, we'd have no game whatsoever, right? I guess more importantly, do we think it is fixable? Let me know what you guys would change. I think here's what I would change, right? Here's my solutions for the current problems with Team of the Year. Number one, if we do go to these League SBCs, right, the regular upgrades and the premium upgrades, I would not juice them ridiculously. Again, from what I've seen from the sentiment on Twitter, people want Team of the Years popping out of these, I don't know, 1 in 500 packs. But like, think about this, right? Say there's premium La Liga or Liga F. Let's say it was 1 in 500, right? I think you guys would agree that's a good weight. And it could be, you could try and get a poll out on Twitter and see what people think would be a good weight for these, packs. I think 1 in 500 I could see being. What you don't understand, or what I feel like people don't understand, maybe I'm alone on this, and tell me, down below if I'm wrong on this. Let me know. But I think what people don't understand is 500 packs with the way EA have decided to do the grind is not a lot. The way EA have decided to do it is frequent, but not a lot of pack weight. So what I mean is this, you can do these premium La Liga and Liga F upgrades every single day. You can probably do about 50 to 100 of them if you did a bit of a pack grind using League SBCs and different things pretty much for free. Because if you do League SBCs, recycle the coins, and then put, the gold rares into this, it starts to get free. So let's say you could do 100 a day. Now, that would be grinding. I'm not saying 100 days easy, but let's say you did grind to 100 a day. If it was 500, every 5 days, pack a Team of the Year. Team of the Year's out for another week and a half. You might pack, 3 more Team of the Years? Should we be saying that at the end of Team of the Year, everyone should have 3 of those cards in their team. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that. I feel like Team of the Year should be a promo where you can happily walk away. Well, not happily, but you can walk away and you've not packed a single card. And you have to, again, it's not great. It's where all the frustration comes from. It's where a lot of the anger comes from for a lot of people. But you should be able to walk away from Team of the Year without packing a card and go, you know what? It was unlucky, right? It wasn't game design that was bad. It wasn't anything like that. It was just unlucky. I didn't put points on. I didn't do, didn't fall into EA's money trap. Yes, I didn't get a card. The problem, like I say, is the actual problem that I think we should all agree on, because we get divided by different things. I think the actual problem we need to all agree on is like the global limits and the promo packs. The fact that you can walk away with 3 or 4 Team of the Years this year. You just have to go and do these, right? If you just keep doing these every single day, I can guarantee you that if I put 100 to 200, 300 pounds worth of points on, I just did a video on it, like a lot of content creators do. And again, fair play to them. It's the livelihood. I understand it. But if I just put 300, 400 quid on, I'd probably walk away with the Team of the Year, because that's what EA want you to do. So I get that's the problem. I just mean SBCs wise. One thing I say you could do that we could all agree on is, and I think this one's universal, right? No one's disagreeing on this, that if you go to the league upgrades, what have they done in the recent couple of years that has made these so much worse? They've added women to it. Now, women being in the game is great, right? It's great for the women's game, all that good stuff. But the problem it does have is it doubles the player pool for these upgrades. And I don't think people, well, maybe you do. After Nick explained it quite well in his video, and I think maybe people are starting to understand it a little bit more. But it's such a negative effect on these packs. I think that's the one thing that they need to change, right? If they just revert that back to normal, in my opinion, we're back to where we were. Basically, right, I've just gone to FUTBIN and put like the Premier League and the Women's League gold rares in. And as you'll see, there's pages and pages of these gold rares. So when you're opening a pack that has 11 gold rares from the league, oh, it won't be 11. It'll have 3 gold rares from these league, right? You'll get 3 gold rares from the Premier Women's League. Basically, what they've done by adding the Women's League into it is doubled that player pool, right? Now, a lot of people seem to think these packs are a fixed percent. So, for example, they think you get a 0.01% chance of getting a Team of the Year. That is not how it works, right? When you're seeing these calculations online, that is an after effect of like what people are opening from the packs. This is not a preset percentage that you're guaranteed to get. It is people have opened X amount of packs. We've seen X amount of Team of the Years. Work out how likely you are to get them based on that. So what I mean is, if you reduce this player pool in half, yes, you reduce the Team of the Years in half, but the numbers still work out in your favor. Because if you think about it, right, let's say with the Premier League, you had 100 gold rares and you have 2 Team of the Years, let's say it was, then you have not a 1 in 50 of packing a Team of the Year, but 1 in 50 of the cards are, Team of the Years. And if you have the Women's League to that, and let's say you had another 100 cards, but you have another 2 Team of the Years, you've now got 4 Team of the Years, and you have 200 gold rares. So that same 1 in 50 cards are Team of the Years, but obviously you guys know, like you always explain to me down below, is that the percentage of getting the Team of the Years, obviously not the same chance of getting a gold rare. So yes, you have the same number of Team of the Years per gold rare, but the percentage chance gets drastically worse. It pretty much halves, right? Because you've got so many more gold rares that can be in that slot instead of a Team of the Year. Like, look how many there are. This is the Premier League and Women's Premier League. This is by far the most cards when it comes to gold rares, but the other leagues are all very similar. I think if they just revert that back to being a league each, or even simpler, just double the amount of players in packs, so you get 6 gold rares, and then I'm not sure if would it be 18 gold commons? I'm not sure how many gold commons would be in the pack, but basically double the actual pack size. That would fix it. Again, you need to understand, this still percentage would be very far different, right? Whether this is right or wrong, we can argue on that. I'm not sure. But whatever the percentage is, it wouldn't be, massively different, but it'd just be back to what it used to be. That's fine. It'd still be nearly impossible to back a Team of the Year from these packs. It'd still be really hard, but you could still grind them unlimitedly and have a decent chance of getting one if you just throw everything into them. Now, one more change that I do think could maybe save, I don't want to say save Team of the Year, because I don't think it's actually that bad. I think what you guys maybe, I don't want to tell you guys what you think, but I think last year with Team of the Year, if you don't remember, it was pretty dead up until the 82 times 20. A lot of people said the 82 times 20 saved Team of the Year, but then afterwards you came up against 2 or 3 Team of the Years in people's teams, plus a Team of the Year Evo. So, you can argue whether that actually saved or made the game worse, up to you. But this year, what could save it is we are getting Team of the Years in Champs rewards. Now, that does not mean you'll pack one. Probably not. I think rightfully so, these will be the worst promo cards in FUT Champs rewards. So if you compare Time Warp Speed and FUT Champs to Team of the Years, there should be less Team of the Years. I think that's obvious. We'll have to see what the pack weight is on honorable mentions. I would quite like it if honorable mentions had a decent pack weight and then Team of the Years didn't. And maybe that's where we find balance, that you can get some decent cards. Think about it, some cards like Salah and Lamine Yamal are getting Team of the Years, or Team of the Year honorable mentions, and you can actually pack those cards, but then it's still really, really rare to get a Team of the Year. I think I don't know. In my opinion, that's how it should be, but let me know, what you guys think down below. Whether you think they should be easier to get in FUT Champs rewards, I'm not sure. Right, let me know what you guys think then. Do you guys agree fully with Nick, what he said in this video? I want to stress one more time, I don't love EA. I don't hate Nick at all. Like I say, I'm going to continue to watch Nick's videos. Probably, again, him and FUT Accountant, my favorite 2 two creators. And I agree with some of what he said in the video. I just think a lot of it is a little bit wrong when it comes to, we're a little bit held by nostalgia, right? He talks about old team of the years, and this was an old team of the year. I don't remember having any of these cards. I don't know if you guys do. Maybe you did, right? Maybe you did the pack grinds and you got some of them. That is great. You got the 99 Messi in there, the 99 Van Dijk. But I never got to use any of them cards, right? I did the pack grind back then, whatever it was, and I didn't get to use any of them cards. I didn't do any store packs again. So if you did store packs, and if you did store packs now, it's a different story, and we can go into that about how they've ruined the game in that sense. I completely agree, completely 100% agree. Whole different topic. But I just want to be careful that we're not complaining about the wrong things, and then obviously gameplay never gets fixed, and store packs never get fixed. And you know, on top of that, when we talk about the content needs to be changed, right? Hopefully we get some more better evos. If this is like the best evos we get for the rest of the team of the year, I 100% agree that content stinks, and we can talk about that in another video. From what I've seen, some of you guys are actually packing team of the years from the pack grind. It feels like basically it's only really from the 83 times 10s that you guys are getting these from, or the 85 times 3s, and I haven't seen too many. I think I've seen like 1 or 2 from the league upgrade. So again, they clearly do have low pack weight. My opinion is just it's kind of meant to be that way because you can do unlimited of them. And I think, again, wait until full team of the year for judgment. If it goes to full team of the year and still no one's packing them, absolutely fair enough. We should at least see some of them going around, right? It should at least be packable for some people in the community. I appreciate all you guys sticking around to listen to me waffle about the current state of the game and what I think is going on. I appreciate it as well. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video if people even see it, because I think people will sort of misrepresent what I'm trying to say and think that I'm having a go at Nick or saying that, you know, EA are great, and that always happens. It's fine. You know, I'll get hate on the video. Absolutely fine. My hope is that the grind gets a little bit better. My hope is that they don't do an 82 times 20 and instead come up with something a little bit better. So I think in the end, in terms of solutions, everyone is on the same page. I think people just argue about the different issues on the game, right? If you are new and you want to subscribe for Evos, you know, we teach how to trade, pack grind, all that good stuff, or just hear me waffle about Team of the Year and take the game, I appreciate you so much. But boys, like always, until next time, I'll see you all in a bizzle.